Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here. Glad to have you guys here. Let's see what day it is. Today is October 21st, 2019. It's a Monday morning. And let's get the show started. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's start the charts right here. And let's take a look at what's going on. First thing I want to take a look at is the cryptocurrency price itself. And I want to point something out to you guys. Last night, the Bitcoin dominance was 66.6%. Today it's 66.5%. That's, believe it or not, that's a good sign. Your best rallies are going to start when the Bitcoin dominance is a little bit lower. And we're looking at a market cap of 224.36 billion. And we see the coins are starting to move up again. A lot of the coins, a little bit. Could this be the start of the rally? Well, we're going to have to wait and see, but it looks very promising to me. Let's take a look now at this article. Bitcoin's most dramatic 2020 halving could cut supply by $63 million a week. So, you know what? Picture if gold was the same way as Bitcoin, and picture if it's a sure thing next year that half of the mines that mine gold in the entire world were just going to pack up their kit bag and head home. Half of the mines. And that the gold mining supply was going to be cut in half. What would that do to the price of gold if they were only going to have half as much gold coming in from the mining supply every year? Well, it would be a dramatic increase in the price of gold. That's what the net effect would be. So it says here Bitcoin's most dramatic 2020 halving, because that's exactly what the halving is. They're actually quite literally going to cut the supply in half. Can you imagine? It says the analysts are excited for a high-stakes halving. This is actually very strange, this whole thing that happens with cryptocurrency, where they actually cut the supply in half. They did that with Litecoin, and we've seen a run-up in the price of Litecoin before the halving. But, it seems like after the halving happens, then the price maintains a little bit better. Now, I'm just going by what happened with Litecoin. So, this run-up with Bitcoin to the halving hasn't happened yet. So, we're going to have to watch very carefully, but it could lead to a major increase in the Bitcoin price before the halving. And this is what we're watching for. It says, discussions been beginning on October 18th. Commentators noted that next year's event will reduce the amount of new Bitcoins in circulation by $63 million a week at current prices. The block reward, the amount of new Bitcoin miners receive for mining a new block, is currently at 12.5 Bitcoin. The reward will fall to 6.25 Bitcoins. So, the miners are only going to be getting half. Well, one of the things that's interesting here is Bitmain is launching a large cryptocurrency mining farm in Texas. They're going to start mining Bitcoin big time in Texas. Big boys are into it. Bitmain, that's a big company launching a large currency mining farm in Texas. Well, it must be a place in Texas where they get really cheap electricity. It says, leading cryptocurrency mining hardware manufacturer Bitmain has announced the launch of a 50-megawatt cryptocurrency mining farm in Rockdale, Texas. The mining farm was launched alongside the Rockdale Municipal Development and a Canadian tech firm, DMG Blockchain Solutions, an initial plan for the construction of a 25-megawatt cryptocurrency mining farm starting in 2018 on a 33,000-acre site owned by the Aluminum Company of America. So evidently the Canadian firm, DMG, is launching they're in the development of a crypto mining farm of 25 megawatts. So this would be a total of 75 megawatts coming in over here. You know, a lot of mining's went on over in China. But, you know, these firms, they're not going to get involved in this huge amounts of wattage and putting in all of this equipment right now, building these facilities and everything else, if they didn't plan on making money. And the reason why they're going to make money is because the Bitcoin price is getting ready to go up massively. This is what's going to, and they know it, this is what's going to make these mining operations return of investment really nice and fat and juicy. And that's why they're getting in on the ground floor, because they're anticipating what's coming in the future, even though they're going to cut the mining supply in half. Can you imagine these miners, if you were a miner, and they're quite literally going to cut your supply that you're mining in half next year. Bitcoin could soon pierce through key resistance to kick off an uptrend. And yeah, you know what? I think it's poised itself now. You know, we've went through, Bitcoin price went up rather suddenly to 13,800. And, you know, it all happened so fast. Now we've went through the correction, and we've went through a long process, a long, lengthy process of basically it's price discovery. The market is discovering what price Bitcoin should actually be at. And you go through this mechanism. It's a long, drawn-out process where Bitcoin's basically kind of stale, where the bears and the bulls fight it out, and they determine a price. And then Bitcoin basically has done that already. Now it's getting ready to start to bounce back up again. That's what I think. And I think, yes, it could pierce through key resistance very, very soon. Let's take a look at this last article here. Bitcoin price to hit $55,000 after the halving, says Morgan Creek Digital co-founder, citing Plan B analyst. Yeah, you know, Bitcoin I could easily, in my mind, I could easily see a $55,000 Bitcoin. I mean, for me, that's not a problem. In the not too distant future, too, like, we're not talking 5 years from now or anything like that. I could see a $55,000 Bitcoin. Wouldn't shock me at all. You know? It says a Morgan Creek Digital co-founder promises Bitcoin will hit $55,000 after the halving in May of 2020, citing an analyst from Crypto Twitter. Bitcoin halving is drawing closer. Bitcoin's 600,000th block has been mined. A Williams co-founder and partner at Morgan Creek Digital Fund, a colleague of the Twitter's active Anthony Pompaneno, has cited that Plan B crypto analyst, also famous in crypto Twitter, the latter is said that after the upcoming Bitcoin halving next year, the market value of Bitcoin will total $1 trillion, which means that Bitcoin price will skyrocket to $55,000. Next Bitcoin halving is drawing closer. The previous Bitcoin halving took place in 2016. It occurs every 4 years. It's mathematically planned. This is, you know, I get this argument a lot. Before I go, I'm going to talk about one last thing. You know, I get this argument a lot from a lot of people, and they say, oh, they can make as many Bitcoin as they want. You know, and there's partial truth to that. They can make a new Bitcoin. They could make a Bitcoin Plus, a Bitcoin Negative. They could make a Bitcoin Gold. They can make a Bitcoin Silver. They can make a Bitcoin Platinum. They can make a Bitcoin whatever. But it's not, none of them are BTC. None of them are the original Bitcoin. And their value shows that that's not what they are. They're not the original Bitcoin. With the original Bitcoin, they have a hard limit of 21 million, and they're cutting that in half, that source, the source that feeds the entire market of the original Bitcoin. Nobody wants, I mean, a lot of people that own Bitcoin, would you want a something that's like a Bitcoin but not the real Bitcoin? I mean, gold's the same way, guys. For thousands of years, we've had something called fool's gold. It looks like gold, it feels like gold. You can mine it like gold, but it's not the real gold. And that's the same way with Bitcoin. Only the original Bitcoin is the real Bitcoin. And all these imitators are like the Slim Shadys out there, you know. They look like me, they sound like me, but they're not really me. I mean, it's the real Bitcoin. Fool's gold's not worth hardly anything. I can't think of the technical name for fool's gold, but I mean, it looks like gold. But it's not the real gold. First off, real gold, you know, if you hit real gold with a hammer, you dent it. Quite literally, if you found a gold nugget, you hit it with a hammer, you dent it. You know, fool's gold, you hit it with a hammer, and it shatters. You know, it's not the real gold. And that's the way with Bitcoin. All these imitators out there, they can make as many of them as they want. This makes people think Bitcoin's valueless because they got so many imitators out there that a coin can be made every day. You know, a coin. And that doesn't mean it's a real Bitcoin. There's only one real Bitcoin. And that is very limited in supply. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to get there. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this report. We'll catch you again very, very soon. Give me a thumbs up. Bye-bye, guys.